Dust in workshops are always a problem, especially cutting timber and MDF. And with this bandsaw, we needed an adapter part from the extraction port to the vacuum cleaner hose. And so in this particular case with the calipers, we measure the external diameter of the extraction port, which is 59.13 millimeters. And from there, it's to the sketch pad and paper, making adjustments on the fly as we go. A sufficient drawing as to then to be able to transfer the size and dimensions into Fusion 360. As a beginner user, and I've speeded it up here, it took probably about an hour due to my inexperience to create this particular object, but once created, it is then exported from Fusion 360 as an STL file. And as you can see now, it's imported into a slicer software, this one being Creality Slicer built on Cura, and it also gives you the opportunity, once you've sliced it, to be able to look at what the printing might look like slice by slice. And this one will take about 6 hours and 7 minutes to print. And now we're in the office here, the Ender 6 Creality printer we're using, with the nozzle temperature at 220, the hotbed at 53 degrees, and the room preheated. This is printing a raft for one of our earlier prints that failed. We had a problem with build plate adhesion, where the object being printed midstream would shift on the plate. And we soon discovered that what we needed to do was to clean the build plate with acetone. And this is a speeded up view, about 400 times normal speed, over 6 or so hours, of the adapter part being printed in PLA. And of course that printed well into the night, and we left the camera and the printer unattended for that time. The room was also heated up with a small blow heater to overcome the problem of it getting too cold at night. We're here in the winter at the moment, and build plate adhesion was a problem. Not all our prints were successful, but you learn as you go. As you can see, the first half of these prints worked okay before it became dislodged on the build plate. But thankfully, with the third attempt and some gaining of understanding of what we need to do, it worked okay. So back in the workshop, it's just fitting the adapter nozzle to the external port and the vacuum cleaner hose, turning on the dust extractor, and a test run. So we turn on the bandsaw, and no dust. All the dust is being removed, and job successfully done. I've really enjoyed my tool time in the shed, designing, engineering, albeit a home handyman, this dust extractor adapter, and finally sending it to a 3D printer and deploying it for its particular purpose. And tool time in the shed has allowed me time also to reflect that, as a metaphor, this was intentionally designed and created and deployed for a specific purpose. And likewise, you and I, as we wonder about who am I, what is the purpose of my life, we learn through society that you and I happen by random accidental happenstance through evolutionary process, and that life has no meaning, purpose or identity, in that we are here today and gone tomorrow and live as you please, and whatever's your truth is your truth. There is no external greater transcendent truth. I appeal to you that that's a lie. Simply designing and creating this object, I know that this could not have come about by itself. It took, albeit a home handyman engineer, to bring it into fruition. And what I want to posit today is that you and I, like this designed object, are intentionally designed and created fearfully and wonderfully in the image and likeness of God. A God who reveals himself as Father and as Son, Jesus Christ. And a God who wants to enter into relationship with us. And a God who tells us that anything less is a lie and deceit on behalf of the devil. That the devil wants to hide your identity. He knows the awesome promises that human beings have by being created in the image and likeness of God. And he wants the world to believe that there is no God, there is no creator, there is no designer. But like this simple exercise in the past few days have reminded me that this could not have come around as a result of random accidental happenstance. So from my workshop here in the country, I am encouraged again to visit a metaphor of something as simple as this, that you and I are created, designed, and we have a transcendent, functional, and eternal purpose. And that purpose finds itself in the person of Jesus Christ. That's the good news of the Christian message. And that's the good news in whatever your hand finds to do, to recognize that this is a simple metaphor, a parable of an awesome transcendent reality, that you and I were created in the image and likeness of God, fearfully and wonderfully made. In the name of Jesus Christ, I'm John Classic.